Hello everyone, my name is Emily and I am back with another video or audio, I guess, if you're gonna be a stickler about my language. Um, Today I want to talk about, this is kind of part two to the other video that I posted, so if you haven't seen that, then you might want to check it out. But today I want to talk about how you can use your thoughts and your emotions to your advantage, because although they are not exactly what is manifesting your reality, it can seem that way sometimes because you do actually have to monitor your thoughts and your emotions in order to really help you manifest whatever it is that you want. I guess you don't technically have to do it, but it will definitely help you, especially if you are somebody who is really, really, really emotional and has a lot of racing thoughts. Now, how much you want to use your thoughts and your emotions to help you manifest really depends on how much resistance you have to your manifestation and how simple the manifestation might be. Because if you're just trying to manifest something as simple as like a good parking space every time you go to an event in the city or something, or if you're just trying to manifest like a free coffee or something like that, then you probably don't have a whole lot of resistance to it. You could, I don't know. But it's usually not that complex of a manifestation that you're going to have a lot of different beliefs about this subject. Um, so, for that, it could be as simple as just reminding yourself and doing your affirmations that you are the God of your reality and you always get great parking spaces. It could be that simple. But if it's something more complex about, manifesting a specific person that you've been trying to manifest for a long time, or if you're trying to manifest a better career or a lot of money and you've spent your whole life, working really low wage jobs, um, then there's going to be more of like an identity shift that needs to happen. Technically, everything is an identity shift, but it's obviously a bigger shift if you are, going from making minimum wage to making $1,000 a day. Or if you're going from somebody who's been unlucky in love their whole life to dating this perfect and amazing person. Now, that's not to say that it's any harder or any more difficult. It's just that if you're doing this for a long time and you have a lot of resistance to it, then that just means there needs to be a different approach to these things. So I'm going to repeat that because I don't want you guys to get it twisted. It is just as easy to manifest a good parking space as it is to manifest wealth and a specific person. But that's really up to you, and that's up to your belief system and your identity, and how much you are able to shift into this new person and persist being that person. So, what you would do with your thoughts and your emotions if you're manifesting something. Like I said, if it's something that seems super simple, that you don't feel like you have a lot of resistance to, again, I can't tell you how much resistance you have. That is your own business. That's something that you really have to ask yourself. If you think that this is going to be something that is simple and easy, really the only thing that you have to do is just keep reminding yourself. Do your affirmations. You probably don't have a lot of negative emotions or negative thoughts that come up, but if they do come up, you can do your best to shift them. You can try to reach for a better thinking thought, better feeling thought. You can, just do your affirmations multiple times a day so that way you can kind of like take control of your thoughts and like get your thoughts out ahead. That is perfectly fine. I'm never going to say that these techniques are not useful, especially if you're manifesting something, like I said, that is really simple. But if you want to manifest something that you feel like you have a lot more resistance to, that is when you really need to be more aware of your thoughts and your emotions. That's what we call your mental diet. So if you're doing mental diet work, basically what you're doing is you are trying to observe your thoughts and your emotions throughout the day as much as you can. And sometimes, if you feel like it, you just remind yourself that you are the God of your reality, you're choosing your reality, and whatever you're thinking right now does not have to be true for you. And here's what's true instead. So if you're manifesting a specific person, and you notice that you are feeling really anxious about them and you're worried that they're talking to somebody else, then what you would do is in that moment, you would just tell yourself, no, I'm the God of my reality. This does not have to be true for me. What's actually happening is that my specific person is thinking about me right now. My specific person is thinking about me and only me, and there's nobody else that they want. Now, that doesn't mean that you have to actually try to believe that in that moment, because the belief will come in time. But it's supposed to help you kind of reset in a way. Just like put that thought back in your mind of like, okay, this does not have to be true for me. Whatever I'm holding on to does not have to be true for me. And so, what I would also do, if you have the time, or until you have the time, um, what I would do is I would really try to get to what is at the bottom of this negative thought or negative feeling. Really observe it first, because sometimes you have thoughts and feelings that come up that are very fleeting, that you don't really have a lot of attachment to, that you're not really identifying with. And the way you can figure that out is if, you have a really strong emotion that is not going away, then that is something that you are holding on to. That is something that has a belief system behind it. Or maybe not a belief system, but at least a strong belief behind it. So, really sit with it and ask yourself, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling so anxious that my specific person is talking to somebody else? And really ask yourself and get as detailed as possible about what this belief system might be. Maybe it's just as simple as, I just don't think that my person likes me that way, and I think they like this other person. But then try to keep asking yourself why. Go a little bit deeper. Okay, why do I think that they don't like me? Do I think that I'm just not good enough for them? Okay, why don't I feel like I'm good enough for them? Is it because I'm just not pretty enough? Okay, well, why do I feel like I'm not pretty enough? Keep asking yourself why, and then get to the basis of what your identity is or what your self concept is. And then you'll know exactly what it is that you need to shift in order to be the person that you want to be. The version of you that has this relationship, if it's a relationship, or the version of you that has money, if it's money. So if you're trying to manifest money and you're really anxious about managing your bills right now, ask yourself, okay, why do I feel this way? What belief is coming up? And sit with it. And if you don't have time to do it right there, when the thought or the feeling comes up, then take some time later in the day, before you go to bed, or, when you're in the shower, or whenever you have time for yourself, and do this process. Just keep asking yourself why until you get to the bottom of it. Don't be afraid to bring this back up. Don't be afraid to feel these emotions again, because you should process your emotions. You should learn how to deal with that. And like I said before, like I've said a million times before, just feeling a negative emotion or having a negative thought come up is not going to mess up your manifestation. And so if you really want to know what you need to do in order to like really focus on manifesting what it is that you want and being the person who already has what you want, then you really do need to find out what beliefs you're still holding on to. And unfortunately, even though I'm a coach, like that is something that you have to do mostly on your own. We can talk through it, we can have conversations about it, but I'm not inside your mind. I don't know you. I don't know what it's like to be you. Only you know that. And so take some time, really think about what you're holding on to and what your belief system is. This all kind of like goes hand in hand, with the mental diet and the self concept and the belief systems and the identity and all of that kind of stuff. So, like I said, give it some time. Really learn yourself, know your inner world, and then take that with you every day. So okay, well, I'm having anxious thoughts about my specific person being with somebody else, but now I know I only think that because when I was younger, I was cheated on, and now I have a belief that I'm not good enough and that nobody's going to want to be loyal to me. And that there's no power behind that thought or that emotion. You know that it's just one belief that you have, one belief system that you have. You know it's just one choice that you're making, and there are so many other choices that you could be making. And then you consciously choose. Maybe you can't fully get there right there in the moment, and that's fine, but you consciously choose, okay, this doesn't have to be true for me. It could be the person who is going to be faithful to me. This could be the job that I do end up making $1 million a year in. It could be anything. You just have to constantly remind yourself that this is who you are now. You're the God of your reality, and you get to decide what you want. You get to choose what you want. So I hope that this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and I intend that this goes where it needs to go. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.